Trump's pretty mad right now, man.
Well, he doesn't look rattled, so I can't tell if that's his bravado or if
Oh,
he understands that this is just a game.
Professor Dave, you got to remember Trump's favorite book, Sun Tzu, The Art of War. So
And
I think that,
art of the deal.
yeah, the art of Mike X. Am I bad for supporting Pinochet again? Another is that the Rush? Didn't he
Yeah,
die? Didn't he die in
yeah,
the plane
yeah.
crash?
You're probably bad for supporting Pinochet. That's my guess. I don't know much about Pinochet, but I'm guessing,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was the
But he
head of
says
that.
ha. He says ha ha. I think he's testing my boundaries.
That's my boy Mike. But Professor Dave, man, we're running out of time, man. Where can everybody find you at, man? Where, if they want to follow you?
Well, if they're following this Twitter podcast, this is how you find me,
Yeah,
because I'm there.
are you on any other socials? Just Twitter, X?
No, I'd love it if Facebook went away tomorrow.
Oh no, Pinochet's the Chilean dictator. Okay.
I think Pinochet killed a lot of people.
Yeah. So he was actually, if you watch Breaking Bad, Gus Fring, that's where he was from, and he served under him. I don't know how I got those confused, but
By the way, here's a brutal reality. I've been reading. I read a book on Operation Gladio, which was very clear, and it made sense to me. So we all know that the CIA's had their fingers in the drug world,
of
right?
course.
They were funding all their black ops with the drugs. What I don't think a lot of people know is that the triumvirate of organized crime, the CIA, and the Vatican being the bank, they didn't just have their fingers in the drug world. That was the drug world. That is the drug world. Those three are like three crime families who are cooperating to run the entire global drugs.
Yeah, the war on drugs, it's crazy, but there's so much people don't know about it. There's so much.
Name me a war on fill in the blank in which they actually try to win. War on X. Give me one where there's war on child trafficking. No, they're not trying to win. War on drugs. War on poverty. Is anyone trying to win these wars?
George Orwell broke it down perfectly in 1984. The war is meant to be continuous. It's meant to be a forever war.
We went from Afghanistan to Ukraine to Israel. Seamless.
Syria was in there. Yeah.
Yeah, Yemen. We were bombing the shit out of Yemen. I know the Saudis were doing the bombing, but there are bombs. Where were the lefties when Yemen was getting their ass kicked? Where were the
drone
lefties?
Strikes?
And when I say lefty, I don't mean people left to center. I mean sanctimonious douchebags.
Yeah.
Who are screaming about one thing. And when I really get frustrated with Ukraine, when I say to the person, I said, okay, here's the deal. Which country bombed more countries and killed more people in the last 20 years, US or Russia?
US.
Orders of magnitude.
Tenfold.
Orders of magnitude.
We do it as democracy. When we do it,
we're bringing democracy to the world. 4.5 million people. Show me something Putin's done that lands in the 4.5 million dead people category. And you can't. And so if you want to get all high and mighty about Putin, please show me your tweets where you talked about all the dead Middle Easterners. And if you've got tweets saying opposing the war in Yemen, opposing bombing Syria, which
Obama drone strikes, Obama drone.
7 Muslim countries that liberal Democrat bombed. You elect a liberal Democrat. You expect to get a guy who's not bombing the shit out of everybody.
Amen.
Right? That's Nikki Haley.
Yeah, going further, it's like, because people will say, oh, you're a Putin apologist, you're a Putin. It's like, listen here. If Putin and Russia want to cross this border, they're gonna have problems. You know what I'm saying? Like we've fought wars in the town I'm in. We fought the British here. You know what I'm saying? I'm in New Orleans. So we this isn't pro Putin, but it's just like this is not our problem. We're not the world police. This is a Europe problem. So we don't need to fund this war to kill, like you said, 500,000 Ukrainians. Like we got to fund that.
And if you ever see one of those dynamic maps that shows the borders and the countries changing over the millennium, and it goes by decade or something, and it just shows, and we're fighting wars over trying to protect borders that are in a constant state of flux. So we're going to kill 400,000 Ukrainians because of some perceived border that defines them as Ukraine, which, by the way, Ukraine was part of Russia as of 1687 or something like that. They were in there until Khrushchev said, yeah, you can be your own country, 1957. Ukraine has been Russian the whole way. And so so it's not to say that Putin isn't a beast. Of course he's a beast. You show me a guy who's not a beast, I'll show you a guy who doesn't run Russia.
Mm-hmm.
You put Trudeau in Russia, he's a dead man. You put Biden in Russia, they'd feed him to the pigs.
I would rather live in Russia under Putin than in Canada under Trudeau.
I don't know if I would say that, but I respect Putin a lot more than Trudeau.
100%. I don't want to live in either of the places. I don't want to be in either of the places.
Look at what Trudeau did to the truckers.
Exactly. I don't want to be in either. I don't trust him at all. I don't want to
Well,
be
if you'd asked me 8 years ago, if you had to escape the U.S., what countries would you have gone to? I would have said New Zealand, Australia, or Canada. Those are a bunch of Nazi strongholds when it came to COVID.
We saw, yeah, it got scary, especially New Zealand, fast, you know.
Yeah, and Adhern, Buckteeth, what's her name?
She was a demon.
Jacinda Adhern, yeah, what a Nazi.
She was like, was
she the dean of douche, right?
We are the news, like we are the source, you know, like she was.
Right. If it doesn't come from us, it's not a fact, you know. That's
yeah.
And there's something about her I find kind of sexy. I like the big teeth for some reason, but the fact that there's a desire to have sex with her does not make her a good leader, and she's an authoritarian.
Oh yeah.
Now
she's taking orders.
She's taking orders. That's right. So she's the, you know, Auschwitz guard or whatever, you know, and you can blame her if you want. You could resign. She kind of did. But now she's still spewing her garbage. And remember that other guy from Australia? Remember that guy that oh God, he was so hateable. He was so hateable.
I love the narrative from them now. It's like, you know, we've forgiven ourselves for the COVID tyranny.
I know.
We're ready to move on.
We have not. The bottom line is we have not, because you guys didn't just make a mistake. You went full blown Nazi on us. No,
you showed your cards.
You are not forgiven. You destroyed lives.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not forgiven. And who is it? The guy at NYU. Scott Galloway. Mm-hmm. He was on Marr, I think, and he said I made mistakes. I support this, blah blah blah. But then he said we're just trying to get it right, and he mentioned Fauci and the FDA and stuff like that. And I go, no, you weren't. You can say you were just trying to get it right. I'm okay with that. But when you pull the FDA into it and stuff like that, no, they are part of a crime syndicate.
Yeah, like nobody's been to jail yet. You know what I'm saying? It's like nobody, you know.
Well, it's like after the 08-09 crisis, how many bankers went to jail? Zippo. That was the beginning of the fourth turning, in my opinion. When we had to exact, even if it was just symbolic revenge. Mm-hmm. And everybody knows that finding a company $2 billion is not symbolic revenge. It's taking money from shareholders.
Yeah.
And so we really need to string up a few bankers. And if we don't get it right next time, then it's going to be a problem. We've got to vaccinate some bankers.